It's Wednesday, the 26th of October, 2022. Welcome to the Fast Five by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories to rip through in 5 minutes, and the first one is a doozy. Federal Treasurer Jim Chalmers handed down his first budget last night, and it seemed to fulfill the job of costing out election promises, but it also included a massive spend on affordable housing, a downgrade in economic forecasts, but little on cybersecurity.
Yes, I think that's a pretty good wrap. Let's talk about the housing package first. The government outlined an ambitious plan to build 1 million well-located homes in 5 years from 2024. It's part of a national housing accord with states and territories. The money's from Canberra and the states. The states and territories will free up land, and the government will work with super funds and other institutional investors to put money into social and affordable housing. Lots of spending out there. You know, the big items are always aged care, healthcare, defence, NDIS, and the interest bill on the national debt. Most of those rose. Most of this has been already announced. One thing that we should worry about is what Treasury thinks about the economy. It's sharply downgraded its economic forecast. This year will be okay, 3.25%, but then 1.5% after that. Inflation's going to head towards 8% this year before falling back somewhat. What's the rub here? What are the big ones? Well, the one I think that most of us will be worried about is the fact that energy costs will rise by 20% in the first half of next year, and then another 30% the following year. Incredible. Dr. Chalmers blamed the Ukraine war. Also, there's $20 billion for the Rewiring the Nation plan. Now, part of that is to reduce taxes on electric cars and provide battery storage for up to 100,000 homes. That's a big win for anyone wanting to go out and buy an EV. The government will also implement the Respect at Work report, which focuses on gender-based issues, but nothing, nada, zippo for cybersecurity. Big miss as far as I'm concerned.
All right, on to story number 2, Sean. And Medibank yesterday conceded that the cyber attack affecting customers is wider than originally thought, and data was stolen from its main brand as well as its subsidiary AHM and international students.
The stolen data includes customers' names, addresses, contact information, claims information, and birth dates. And yesterday, Medibank said the number of affected customers will definitely grow. Now, the health insurer said it had received a file of 1,000 further policy records from cyber criminals, having received 100 last week. The criminal behind the Medibank data hack purchased login credentials to gain access to the network from an online Russian criminal forum, and then did extensive reconnaissance before collecting the data, according to media reports. The original breach, though, was probably a phishing scam that caught a senior Medicare employee out. Yesterday, Cybersecurity Minister Claire O'Neill, who's been very busy, likened the Medibank hack to COVID-19, and she called cyber criminals the dogs of the 21st century.
Sean, story number 3. This one is for me and for anyone else who wants to buy a loaf of bread and can't actually be bothered going to the supermarket. Coles might well have the answer, expanding its drone delivery service into southeast Queensland. I love this.
Yes, it's using Google's drone delivery service, known as Wing, to pilot door-to-door drone delivery. You buy a loaf of bread via the Wing app. Next thing you know, it's at your door. Hopefully it's at your door. Coles call it store-to-door, and 500 items from bread, convenience meals and fresh produce to healthcare items and household essentials are available in trial areas. Now, there's been a pilot program going on in Canberra. Now there's one in Queensland.
What's the bet, Sean, that the drone still manages to pack your milk on top of your bread?
It squashes your avocados.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, these are the big issues we're dealing with here. All right, on to story number 4. Apple has increased prices for its music and TV services for the first time as the tech media industry looks to raise a bit of revenue.
Yes, the tech giant upped the price 10% effective immediately in the US, blaming higher licensing costs. It means Apple streaming is more expensive than Spotify and Amazon, but the video plan, Apple Plus, continues to be cheaper than Netflix or Warner Brothers Discovery. Interesting, at Apple, services, rather than products like iPhones, now contribute about 25% of Apple's revenue, up from less than 10% 8 years ago. So companies like Apple, as well as the local players here, Foxtel, Stan, and Netflix and those guys, they're all looking for ways to increase subscription prices, earn more revenue from services.
All right, last story. Story number 5. Probably actually one that parents don't really want to hear. Kids who play 3 hours or more of video games a day perform better on tests of memory and impulse control than those who don't, according to a new study.
Frequent gamers show more activity and higher blood oxygen levels in frontal brain regions associated with more cognitively demanding tasks and less brain activity in regions related to vision. Now, this is according to a really big US study of about 2,000 children. The performance could be related to the games, but scientists stopped short of saying there was a cause and effect relationship. The kids who perform better on these tests may be the ones who chose to play games in the first place. Anyway, guidelines set by the American Association of Pediatrics still encourages a limit of 1 to 2 hours of video games per day. Did you know, Michael, in China, kids are not permitted to more than 3 hours a week?
I didn't know that. All right, that's it. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Wednesday, the 26th of October, 2022. Remember to hit follow and don't forget to check out our new podcast, How Do They Afford That?, featuring Canna Campbell, the founder of Sugar Mama TV, all about making your money work a little bit harder for you. There is a new episode out today. Today, it is all about the ultimate home budgeting guide. It is a cracker. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.